Hello. I can't do it. Hello, welcome to Mostly Off Topic Plays the One Ring, second edition. This is the glasses edition because I can't actually see. I'm getting old. Anyway, I'm joined by the usual guys. Apart from we are missing Nick, who is continuing to do his summer job. Hopefully, he'll be joining us very soon. And Matt, who has a parental task. So he may join a little bit later. How you doing, guys?
Doing well.
Doing good, yeah.
Yeah, all good, yeah.
Good. Looking forward to playing.
Yeah, so am I. It's going to be good fun. I am looking forward to this session. I'm looking forward to every session. What am I on about?
Ooh, yeah, it's the dream of everyone who plays this game to go to the Shire, and it's happening.
Yeah. The Shire.
In the end.
There and back again, or there, I guess is the is all we're doing. Okay, so this is episode 11, session 7. We've had anyway, yep, episode 11, session 7, and who can remember what happened last time?
Well, we did our fellowship phase, right?
Yeah.
So I think Tolman and Gert wrote songs together over the summer, I believe, over mini pints at the Prancing Pony.
As you lie sleeping, and mud midges and a merry heart.
That's right. So we had a combat and a traveling song created.
Yeah, I have your song register right here.
Wonderful. I like that. I like that we have a catalog.
Yeah, list of songs. And also, I think Esteldor, you wrote a song too.
Yes, I wrote a lay, yeah. Still yet untitled because I've been doing stuff.
I've been
Typical ranger.
I've been rangering. I've been protecting your
Yeah.
asses. That's what
I did think about it. I think he might keep adding to it, and
Yeah, that's
different
cool.
songs will be still part of the main overall song, but like each session or something.
It's currently called Song 1.
Yeah.
We've almost got enough for an EP.
That's right. If you chucked in some Fast Threads numbers from our old campaign, Joe, you'd probably have a double-sided album. Yeah.
Stick a cover in, banging out as an EP.
Yeah, life is good. Life is good. So we did indeed. Oh, lost Alessandro. Right, we'll wait for him to come back. I thought I was just like gone to see if he can get it off of eBay.
He's going to write a fourth song.
That's it. Yeah.
He's going to do some Rachmaninoff.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it. Gudrun plays Rachmaninoff through the harp. That is a concert
Sorry.
the Prancing Pony want to see.
I couldn't air you anymore, then I dropped the
Yeah.
connection.
No, we just paused whilst we saw you drop. In any case, we were just talking about the EP that we're going to release.
Yeah. 4 songs. Nothing that connects them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a harp solo by Gudrun. That's all we need, really, for the track number 4.
That's it. Well, like an instrumental, just like no lyrics. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe some beatboxing by Tolman.
Yes.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm making no promises, guys, but we do have a merch requirement, so it would be
T-shirt.
No, I think the EP is the merch. Anyway. Okay, so it's it is the 10th of October, 2965 of the Third Age, and you've all kind of like managed to reconvene more or less back into Bree. And it was 11 years ago, and many days' journey to the east, in a land far removed from where our fellowship finds itself, that fire spewed from the peak of Gudrun, signaling to the world that Sauron had returned once more. The land of Gondor, the remaining bastion of the Sea Kings of the West, understands its plight most deeply. Beyond its borders, there are a few, perhaps only those who are called the Wise by their fellows, that truly understand what these flames rising may mean. But all of that is many, many steps removed from the chill morning that greets us here in the square in front of the prancing pony and Bree. Breath can be seen hanging in grey clouds in the air. Gert finishing ticking and tacking away at Burke's harness. He then turns to his bleary-eyed boys, Sam and Garth, embracing them in turn. There aren't very many observers at this time in the morning, so his soon-to-be teenage sons return his embrace without reservation. Nana, Gudrun's mount, snorts and skips to the side as Gudrun pats to calm her. Tolman, his cheeky smile, his flashing eyes, his full mouth, he comes out of the porch of the prancing pony, layered onto a slab of thick bread, sausages, bacon, eggs, lettuce, tomatoes, melted cheese, some kind of distilled sauce, fried potatoes, roasted beetroot, topped with fried onions. It's bigger than Tolman's head. It contains considerably more sustenance than one man could need in a week. But Tolman will be hungry come dinner time. Have no fear of that. There's a long-lasting embrace from Anne, Gert's wife. Be safe, she whispers in his ear. There's something in the way that she says it. It stops Gert's normal wit. He simply nods. I will. He looks at Tolman. Not so sure about him, though. The Rangers went on ahead, and they'll meet the rest of the Fellowship where the Great East Road crosses the Greenway. They're only going to the Shire. Gert's done that journey more than one time. Why does it feel different? Takes a deep breath, tousles the boy's hair, and then they are off once more. Overhead, unseen by all those below, the winds carry infinitesimally small fragments of ash, carried from the black lands of Mount Doom. Slowly, steadily, they fall to the ground, reminding Middle-earth that the power of the shadow is not constrained to just those lands adjacent to the volcano's home. It's cold, autumnal, as you start to move out of Bree, out through the hedge, past the Bree Warden, along the Great East Road until it meets the crossroads with the Greenway. Stood there at Esteldor and Nathaniel, looking at each other, checking who's got the sword. You greet one another. Not Esteldor.
Yeah, not me.
And you decide upon roles for the journey ahead, I think. So how do you intend to get to the Shire?
Well, we have how many carts? We have 2 carts.
I think so. You've got Gert with Bert stacked high with his cart with provisions, and then whether Gudrun has decided to put Nonna with a cart or just packs and what have you.
Okay.
Obviously, the most obvious route into the Shire would just be straight down the Great East Road. That's a well-travelled
That's
track.
the only way Gert knows how to get there, and that's because Bert leads him that way every time. So
Well, Tolman doesn't know any secret ways to the Shire because this is the first time he's left the Shire.
The Rangers might know, probably. A sneaky way, but we're not going to sneak, are we? What's the point?
Yeah, though of course you know that you could head south along the Greenway and then pick up the north-south road across Sarn Ford. That kind of would meet you in Micheldelvin. It's quite a journey.
Would we have a sense of urgency given that we know Gandalf has sent a sent a message via Gudrun. So,
Well, not urgency, I think. But we should also get to Fragmorton.
yeah. Well, I think there was mention of. I'm assuming Tolman knows this. That there was mention of bounders from the West Farthing disappearing.
I don't know. Did Arthaniel or Esteldor mention this?
I don't think I didn't know that, did I? That was
No,
off annual.
Arthaniel knows that. Yeah.
Well, that was our
Oh,
thing.
okay.
And I don't know if he would have told me.
Yeah. Knowing Matt, there's no chance he would have done.
No.
Joey should check this out as soon as he
No,
realised.
no,
that.
no.
Matt
If,
likes the
unless-
mystery.
Unless Matt's radically changed his approach to role playing, I would assume that knowledge is safe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tolman's oblivious, so yeah, he's just gonna be happy to saunter along at a leisurely pace, eating his the remnants of his sandwich.
Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be a journey to get into the Shire. It's about 5, maybe 6 days, depending upon how it goes along the East Road. Wait, that's my phone. Sorry. I'll just get that away. I actually don't know how to turn the phone off anymore.
Oh my God, the glasses come with a price. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't understand technology.
Well, fortunately, I don't need to set the VCR anymore because I can just basically stream whatever I want. But you know what I mean.
You bought a pair of cursed glasses, yeah, it's a cursed item.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was buying a pair of glasses of seeing, but it turns out it's the glasses of the basic task forgetting. So, what roles do you guys want to take in the journey? There are the usual 4 roles available to you.
Well, Gert stinks at hunting.
I think I'm best at hunting.
He stinks at exploring. He stinks at scanning.
Because
And he's alright at travel.
I'm proficient in hunting, and I've got 3 dots in it. Awareness, all the other awareness, all the other options. I've got 2 dots in. From my perspective.
Yep.
Gudrun might try going exploring. So be a scout,
Yep.
maybe.
Gert / Bert can handle the travel
So it would be the guide.
guide, yeah. That
So-
would make sense.
Tolman can hunt and he can travel, but I mean his main objective on this journey, I think, is going to be to sing a song.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what role though, in addition to being
Well, but
You can only-
the travel song mechanic is that you don't feel the fatigue.
don't feel,
effect.
yeah, it doesn't feel if you don't suffer from being weary.
So at the moment, I think is has no point.
I mean, other than the fact that you'll be singing as you kind of go along.
It's a hobbit traveling to the Shire. He's gonna sing.
Yes, sure.
Your logic makes perfect sense, Alessandro, but
Yeah.
there's a song in Tolman's heart.
No, but yeah, you should sing every time you want, but not use the mechanic of singing, because this is just once in an adventure.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm still on the lookout for 2 of the roles. We've got our scout covered by Gudrun. We've got our guide covered by Gert. So we've got a lookout and our hunters available.
Yeah, so I can hunt. I wouldn't be a very good lookout.
Okay, Esteldor, would you stand lookout?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's longingly looking at his bow, wishing he was hunting.
That's right. He might still hunt, but just get no mechanical benefit from that.
Oh.
So I am filling out a travel log for you guys,
Nice.
which I also drew the actual journey on quite badly, as we said, but it's still there. Okay,
Yeah.
so the Greenway and where the East Road meet. Bree Hill, the fog rising off of it. It's a grey sky, but it looks like it may become azure as the day moves on. The chill is not quite so strong as it's warmed up. You see the ranges, and then the Greys Road heads off. You can see the fog clinging to the bottom of the Barrow Downs in front of you. They're low hills, but they carve into the ground, creating valleys and hollows. The Greenway is much less prominent than the East Road, much less travelled. And as you know, Gert, 5 or 6 days, give or take, along the road to get to the Brandywine Bridge. The biggest challenge is as you kind of get closer to the eaves of the old forest, but you know the road. Gert knows the road. So let's see how it goes. Could you give me a travel roll?
Yeah. It's too early to burn hope on walking down a road, I think. Hey. Whoa. Well, you don't often see double sixes.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay, so I did succeed.
Yep.
But yeah, so actually I can spin those sixes.
So the sixes also count. So essentially what the success is doing, so you're going to have some kind of event happen. The travel roll determines how many hexes you've moved before that event happens. So you get 3 hexes plus 1 per success die.
Wow. Okay. So 5?
Okay, so that basically gets you into the Brandywine.
I'm like, move it, people.
yeah. Okay. Okay, so as you're moving along a pretty steady pace. Gert knows the road really well. The road is not well maintained, but it's passed sufficiently that there is always a route that you can find, and quite often the top of the path, the well-trod path, is quite much more narrower than the embankment, and the road is a risen embankment above the areas around that, so you're slightly elevated. Where you're walking along, you can see some of the cobbles and the moss that's gathered within the cobbles, and it becomes greener and more green as you move further on. There are places where the whole embankment has been replaced, and Gert, you'll know, and also Esteldor, that at odd occasions there are troops come out of Bree, groups of men that replace and repair the road within their area. And the Barrow Downs over to the left, and then the North Downs off to the right. It passes relatively uneventfully as you're moving along. Nobody else is kind of going to and fro at this stage. But you're getting closer now towards the Barrow Downs. You've stayed at the side of the road, camped out, without any great event either. But as you're coming along, you can see now the hills to your left have got more steep, become more prominent. In the morning, they're covered in thick fog that burns off in the weaker autumnal sun, and leaves fog gathered in the valleys and such like. You can all see, though, from a cluster of dark rock, an off-white smoke rising, and just gradually drifting gently in the soft breeze. Esteldor, you recognise this as a sign of the Dunedain. This is a kind of general call put out the colour of it, and the frequency as it rises is a call for aid from other rangers gathered around.
Okay.
You reckon it's a couple of hours' journey to where the dark rocks are, given the terrain in front of you.
So it was a call for aid, did you say?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but it's a kind of like a general. If there are any rangers in the vicinity around, gather at this point.
So it's not like an urgent signal.
No, it's not. It's not urgent. It's more of a yeah. If you're around and about, then come gather there. There might be aid required, but it's not a. Oh my gosh, we're getting pummeled by the enemy. We need to get there now.
Distinctive feature is bold. And true-hearted. I'll mention it to the group though. Oh, but see that? Do you see that smoke far off?
No,
Yeah.
no, I did not. You know, I don't pay attention to that.
It's one of our ranger signals. It means they're calling for aid. It's not an It's not an urgent
trouble.
call. It's not an urgent call, but it's just a general sort of message. If anyone's in the area that could help with something, I don't know what. Obviously, I just thought I'd mention it to the group just in case we want to think about it, or do we just carry
Do
on?
you think they could be out of food or firewood?
To be honest, it could be anything, but it's not the we are under attack smoke.
Ah. Should we send Artheniel?
I look at our
That's
Nathaniel.
right.
Paul.
That's right.
Nathaniel looks back at you. I can't do my accent. Let us ride forth and slay the demons that are bound to be resident there. Kill, murder, death. Go, kill, destroy.
Wow.
He says in his head. What comes out is, yes, perhaps we should go there. We are. Maybe these others carry on, or perhaps we all go as a group. What do we think?
How far out are we from our destination?
You've been traveling maybe 2 days. You've had 2 nights on the canvas.
I think that, given recent experiences, Gert's willing to make sure that there aren't any, there's no trouble. That the Rangers, if the Rangers are asking for help, then maybe it's worth finding out. If it's only going to add 4 hours to our journey, right? You said it's like a couple hours away, maybe.
Yeah. So that's why Esteldor is estimated, given the terrain, given the speed at which you're moving and the composition of the group.
Tolman is inquisitive, and he finds these rangers peculiar and mysterious. So he'd be interested in seeing some others and seeing whether they're all moody and mean, and whether they always have their hoods up and sharpen their swords at strangers and that kind of thing.
Nathaniel does.
I mean, I'd go, of course.
Esteldor does, but less aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
Gudrun, what say you?
Well, Gudrun at the moment is occupied chatting with a bird that is perched on her shoulder. And
got any seeds?
She's talking about the road ahead. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Is that how I feel?
Hi.
Hi, Flo. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Good.
As a Shire Hobbit, come
Yeah.
to say hello.
Bit.
Ahead. Oh, it's
Yeah, yeah, and she's asking her this little bird what they have to expect to find in the miles ahead.
well. You got to be careful of no
And
perch wood. It eats us. That place. Best to go straight over it. And then seeds, lots of seeds. Lots of pecking and frozen men.
and I courteously thank the bird and put him on my hand and give a little push so he can fly back to the Shire where he belongs.
Circles around, lands back on the back of Nonna. Nonna kicks something, jumps up, down and comes back up. Got any seeds?
Yeah, sure. I found some seeds from my sack. I took with me because I have another bird with me that came from Dale to here, and now is flying high around us, just looking around these new places, and so paying attention that he doesn't see that I am giving his food, his seed to these new birds.
Hey, that's my seed. This is the Arthaniel of bird kind. No. I just kind of this bird's pecking away at the seeds. Don't want to fly back yet. There's crows. Too many crows earlier. Wait for them to go. Oh, that's a big bird. I haven't seen one of those before.
It's a toad.
Any more seeds?
You should try to find yourself your seeds.
It kind of like hops to where you got them from and kind of like tries to peck away at that a little bit, and flips and kind of catches the wind and moves over, lands on the cart of that Bert's pulling, and like hops on some of the bags. Has a look there. Okay, and flies off. Gudrun is clearly a Disney princess / Mary Poppins. So what's the plan, guys? What are you intending to do?
I think that if as long as Gudrun is not opposed to it, I think all of us are willing to go investigate. I think we all have a general curiosity, or at least a disposition where we want to find out what's going on there. So
yeah, okay. So you kind of pull off the main road down what looks to be a bit of a goat track, moving along. The wagon that Bert's pulling is kind of designed for this kind of thing. It's quite narrow. It's not a massive thing. It's not carrying a lot of weight. And you move along the shadow of this valley, where the temperature is much colder, and then as you start to rise up a little bit of the ridge and wend and weave yourself along that towards these dark rocks, the smoke has finished, and as you're moving forward after an hour or so, it takes you a little bit less time than Esteldor estimated to kind of get there. You can see that there's a figure dressed very similar to Esteldor and Nathaniel, and two of the figures step astride out of the shadows. The dark rocks resolve themselves into worked stone of some description, aged, weathered, but definitely placed here by the hands of men or dwarves rather than an outcropping that you had perhaps thought as you were further away. Esteldor and Nathaniel stopped the group a little bit. One of the rangers takes down his hood, steps forward.
And before they can talk, Gudrun step forward and make a reverie and say with gently, good morning, fellows. Pleased to meet you, even in this so wild landscape. I see you made a fire. Could we sit by your fire and, well, exchange news and what happened in our journeys?
Aye, come and sit by the fire. Round that way, if you please. Nathaniel looks at Gudrun. Nathaniel's like, I'm not even trying to kill him. I had no plans. I didn't even draw my sword. You recognise this as Heron, who's kind of the main captain responsible for the whole of this area from the Dunedain to the north. But he shows you around, and one of the figures steps forward and kind of like takes Nonna's bridle and starts to lead you around. So you're going at skirting the edge of the outcrop around towards the back. Heron signals for you, Esteldor, to step forward. What's everybody else doing? So Gudrun starting to get led around. Esteldor and Nathaniel just step forward to this individual that's dressed very, very similar to them. Leather corselet, bracers, bow, sword by the side. Looks like his washing machine's possibly broken, given the state of his clothes.
How many are there, Paul?
You can see 3 at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Is it Tolman's going to be kind of fairly excited, sort of restraining himself a little bit,
He's bouncing up and down.
muttering to himself about rangers on the edges of the Shire, and it's funny. There's so many of you tall fellas. I've never seen one before. How come I never seen one of you fellas before? I've been all over the Shire and ain't never seen one of these rangers until now. Now there's loads of you. Rangers everywhere.
Tolman? Are these men those how you call it? How did you call it? Bounders that you were talking me about in the last few days?
Bounders, aye. Well, they're like the rangers of the Shire, if you will. They range around the Shire and make sure there's no, trouble and helping people with whatnot, and pigs what have escaped, and chickens that have run away, and all that kind of dangerous thing.
But they don't wear the hat with the how you call it?
With a feather.
Yes, with the feather, exactly.
Feather in a hat, aye. Well, it depends what level of bounder you are. I mean, some bounders ain't earned their feather yet. You have to earn your feather.
So this is a rookie bounders then.
That's what they are. Oh well.
Oh.
Yeah. They ain't nothing to be worried about then.
I think so.
Yes, yes, little man. We're trainee bounders, out on a training mission, to hone our skills and to earn our feather, as they say.
Oh, we're in your feathers, are you?
Yes.
Well, that's maybe we can help you. We're quite an accomplished set of adventurers here. Come all the way from Bree town we have.
My goodness, that is some distance that you have ventured. There must be many stories and many skills that you have encompassed. Halas, go with these fellows and see what knowledge we can extract from them that we can push into our training program so that we can earn our feathers that much more quickly. And one of the rangers comes across and kind of like starts to usher you along. It's kind of like, so tell me, what skills have you had to do? How many nights have you been on the road?
Well, not that many actually, as it happens. We're only a couple, mind. But see, you fellas ain't even sheriffs. You're just bounders. What even not even got feathers yet.
We're desirous to be bounders. We are not yet even bounders ourselves.
See, he's a ranger. This chap here, and he said that he's seen some smoke, and that means normally with you rangers, that means you need some help. You're in a jam.
That
So-
is correct. That is exactly what that signal means. The particular powder
Lucky
put
we
on the
come
fire.
across you, really.
We're incredibly grateful that that is the case, and he is moving you around and kind of like bringing Nonna by the bridle. What are you doing, Gert?
So Gert now travels with two rangers. He wrote a song about how the rangers provide a lot of protection.
Yes,
But he's never actually been outnumbered by rangers, so his Breeness is starting to kick up a little bit.
Yeah, even as head
he's-
of the Ranger Advocacy Service, Bree
Yeah.
branch.
5 rangers is a bit much all at once for Gert. So he's being polite as always. But this is he's never encountered this situation.
Yeah. Okay. Are you following through with Gudrun and Tolman?
Yeah, I think mostly just taking the cues from Esteldor.
Yeah.
Nathaniel's been acting strange lately.
Yeah, Nathaniel's out of character. It just feels a little bit. There's like a calmness around him that just puts you on more edge. Actually, you suspect it's just the calm before the storm. Esteldor's staying with what appears to be the main guy in terms of who's been issuing commands and such like, and they're moving you around what would have possibly been a curtain wall of a fortification, whereas they're at the centre of what might have been the portcullis gate. The ranger that's leading Nonna and talking to Tolman turns and spies Bert. So I see that you travel light. You must forage for your many provisions.
It's for everyone.
Fantastic.
I find that the wild does not have sausages.
You have sausages. It kind of like looks.
Did I say sausages? I meant.
He looks across to his other companion.
The entire carriage is loaded with sausages.
Gert's
When he
like-
says it's for everyone, what he means is it's for everyone who was traveling from Bree.
But as trainee bounders, we need to kind of gird ourselves and kind of like have a full stomach for the adventures ahead. Do you have any fresh bread? We only have whey bread.
Yes, we do, and
Cheeses?
Gert will never. Oh God, Gert will never. He knows the rules of the road, but these rangers are really pushing it.
Do you have any?
You're not supposed to ask for multiple things.
Do you have any fruitcake? Maybe a spot of marzipan? But anyway, they lead you around. There's a fire that they've got kind of going, and they've got some small mess tins kit that they've been making a stew primarily with a few herbs dropped in there. But they kind of gather around and they sit down and they make kind of small talk. They're very patient and quite endearing actually with Tolman, and taking some kind of interest in the discussions without giving quite a lot away.
Gert's beginning to wonder if the aid they required was his food.
That's quite possible. The bird from Dale, the small thrush, I think it was, kind of lands on Gudrun's shoulder, and then hops down onto her knee and starts to kind of like peck around and have a look at the ground. The rangers are paying some interest to that behaviour. But back with you, Esteldor.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hayron says, "How are you doing, Esteldor?"
Oh, hi, Captain. Everything's going well.
Good.
We're just travelling to the Shire. There's some items that my companions are delivering. And I saw the smoke. Is there anything that you need help with, sir?
Yes, there is. We've been following you. We've been tracking your group, seeing that you came from Bree. We understand that you've been into Bree town itself recently.
Indeed.
Come with me, but gird yourself, Esteldor. This is not a pleasant scene by any measure. The hand of the enemy has been abroad.
Ah.
And he takes you through, and there's another couple of rangers in what was possibly an outer courtyard, if this was a fortification. And they start to take you towards a set of steps that just look as if it leads from dirt to dirt. And you see there very clearly the body of a dwarf. Dried blood caked into the ground around him.
I look at the captain. Where did you find him?
Here, like this. And you can come closer. And as you step closer, you can see that, and you've seen bodies before, he's been recently dead. Recently for a week, 2 weeks kind of time frame. It's quite hard to be anything more specific than that. Each of his limbs has been torn from his body. Not cut, not hacked, but sheared and then placed back where it would ordinarily have been. His eyes have been removed from their sockets, the optic nerve still attached, turned around so that the eyeball then faces into the sockets.
Okay, just making a note.
We found tracks of wolves around the body, but we also have found marks as if other tracks have been brushed astride. So it might be that the wolves were accompanied. But it's quite hard for us to be certain.
My father told me of a pack of orcs that have moved south.
Yes.
This could be those orcs.
Possibly. We
mentioned something about there might be wolves or wargs with them or something.
We have encountered a greater frequency of wolves in these parts than normal. That could just be the ebb and flow of the world, but it is never a great augury. We also saw a pack of Crabane rise from here, which is what attracted our attention in the first instance. Do you recognise this dwarf having spent time in Bree?
I'll get right down onto my knees and look really closely. Do I recognise him, Paul?
It is Graw.
Ooh. Am I on my own with the captain, or is Nathaniel nearby?
Nathaniel is just behind you.
I'm on the floor. I'll turn around to him, look back at him, and I'll go, yes, we know this dwarf captain. Yes, he's, I believe he's called Graw. He was a conspirator in Bree who we discovered was trying to find a treasure map, which we found.
As soon as you say treasure map, the captain glances across to one of the other men, and a slight nod, and he just steps a little bit closer. So go on.
And I say we found the map, and then we created a fake one, which Graw took, and my new colleague here, Alessandro, I put Alessandro, he tracked him.
Nathaniel's like, don't know anything about it. I mean, now Graw who? What? Fake
Do you
map?
remember? Do you remember Graw?
No, I don't remember. I was in like the jacuzzi at the time. So Nathaniel's like, yes. He headed off to the. He went down the Greenway and off into the South Downs.
Yes, we followed the map, and they took us to the tomb of last king of Arnor, and we sealed it up, Captain, and secured the place.
Nathaniel's like, yep, definitely, that's 100% what we did.
And I'll say to the captain as well, but I have also mentioned this to my family, and they were going to pass on to the main ranger camp. But people from Farbad were there as well. I don't know if you know that. Yes.
We know the remains of the city, yes.
Yes, the men from Farbad were digging around in the tombs, but we convinced them to leave peacefully.
Good. Sounds like you have done a lot, but what of this dwarf? What was his nature and what was his business?
From what our dwarven friend, who isn't with us at the moment, he said that he'd found out he was some kind of ne'er-do-well, like a thief. He didn't have a good reputation in Bree, apparently.
And you mentioned a map, and the other figure, he calls the other figure forward, and the other figure passes across the satchel, he pulls out, hands you a corner of thick parchment that's clearly been burned.
Look at you.
You can see Barnack's writing of the fake map across it.
Yes, this is the fake map.
He found the burned remnants in his mouth, the dwarf's mouth. And come, and he takes you closer to the body. And just pulls back one of Graw's cotton shirts, and you can see cut into the flesh, dried, scabrous now. There are 3 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines.
Yep.
Have you seen this? Did he have it when you were working there?
Sorry, Paul, where was it on his body, did you say?
It was just on the side, essentially just inside there.
We wouldn't have seen that, would we? Look, if it's under his shirt.
No, highly unlikely.
No, Captain, I wouldn't have seen this dwarf without his shirt.
Can you make me a dread shadow test as you start to comprehend the nature of the destruction of Graw? So that's a valor test.
Well, 1. So that's just the one. Is that D6 as well as my?
Yeah, so you'll get your feat dice, and then you'll get as many D6s as you have valor rating.
Okay. Can I add hope to this or not?
Yeah, it's just another roll. Yeah.
I'll add hope. Come on. 9.
You take 3 points of shadow.
Sugar.
You
Okay.
recognise the part that you, as a group, played in Graw's End, where there is a ne'er-do-well, a petty thief. This is not the way that any life on this earth should end. And more so, you can feel and sense the total and absolute destruction of Graw as a entity, as a spirit, as a soul. He's been totally crushed, destroyed, dominated, removed from the tapestry of life. Dark sorcery has been at play. You can feel it a little in the air. And you can sense it through this pale shadow of this dwarf.
Okay. Think, the other rangers probably see Esteldor go really, really white.
Daniel's at the back retching as well. It's got a slight shudder on.
Do you know this mark?
Yeah.
I've got enemy law. My distinctive feature is enemy law orcs. Is it an orcish mark or is it not something I would understand?
Ooh.
Without doing a roll. Or do you want me to, or could I roll a law roll?
So I think you would know that it has some form of link to the enemy, but it's not especially a mark of orcish passing per se. But I think if you wanted to make a law roll, law roll.
Okay, hang on, I'm out of my hope.
It's at least orc adjacent, I guess.
Okay. Oh, sugar. Ice Aaron.
Ooh.
Okay, that's not an auto fail though. So
Oh well, it's still not. It's still way below my target number.
Yeah,
I've got
okay.
a 4 and a 3, so I need a 17.
As you're inspecting this mark, you there's something that's niggling away at the back of your mind. It's not an orcish mark. It doesn't look like it was made by an orcish weapon either. Whilst it's scabbed over and it's kind of like been messed around, that the incision is far too sharp for the orcish blades that you're aware of. And you look up at Heron, who's silhouetted a little against the darkness, against the light of the sky. And then perched on the edge of a rock behind him, there is a huge black crow looking down at you. And it kind of lights up. Everyone turns, tries to fires at it, but the arrow misses and the crow goes off. The thrush accompanying you, Gudrun, kind of like quickly hops across and underneath the crook of your leg as you're sat.
And so Gudrun is as seen.
So you guys are away from this. You guys are away from what Esteldor has seen, but the thrush has just been like scratching away and pecking and doing thrush things.
Okay.
You hear a little bit of sound at the back, and then it literally races for the safety of your.
Sorry, I asked him to him. Oh, what happened? Ask him. What happened? Why are you so afraid? Afraid of?
The sky went dark.
Sky went dark. The sky went dark because it's coming. It's coming the night, as every day.
No, cold and dark.
Oh.
I have to work up my birds voice. Birds number 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I look at a Gert, a bit worried. have you any news? Are we safe here? What do you think?
Well, we're off the track, but we have a fairly sizable company surrounding us. I think we're safe.
And little fellow, how does one? What's the ceremony to get your feather exactly? That's the conversation that's happening with Tolman and the Rangers at the moment.
Tolman will be waxing lyrical about that, but also kind of like looking around the ranger, trying to see what's going on. Quite distracted.
The Rangers are trying to stop you from seeing what's going on. Sorry, so that's what's happening in the background. Yeah, you guys carry on, Gudrun and
I think we're safe. Yeah. There are several ranges. I don't. It's not the most comfortable spot, but seems relatively defensive.
But in Bree, they say that where there are troubles.
It's true, and that is the truth. Where there are ranges, there's trouble.
Yeah, ranger danger.
Ranger danger is not just something that the children say. The wise sheriff of Bree says it as well.
So maybe this is not the best place where to set our camp. Maybe we should slip away and.
Well, I feel as though we've still got to consider Tolman and our traveling companions. I don't know if we'd be better off going on our own, and I don't think that Esteldor will leave. Rangers, I think once they start to talk, they just keep talking to each other for weeks on end. They're like elves in that way.
They are been talking for a while now.
Yes,
I
think
wonder.
rather than
I wonder
slipping
about
away,
what.
maybe we should slip into the conversation.
Oh. There is a ranger that keep us on this side of the place, right? Or not?
Yes. I've got an idea.
Nathaniel comes back looking really pale. He goes straight over to goes straight over to Bert. Knives kind of goes through the stuff, pulls out kind of Bert's finest cognac, just starts to in one.
Oh.
Does he look visibly shaken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of
What happened to you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. It's fine. I'm all right.
You look like you see something. Well, worse than a troll. Because when you saw a troll, you didn't look like that.
You can fight a troll.
So what?
What
happened?
I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go. He kind of like starts to wander off. And I'm going to take some fresh air. I'll go and check the bottom of the hill. Make sure there's nothing untoward.
Gert starts digging through Bert's pack.
So Tolman, as this has happened, the other ranger that's kind of like clearly been trying to man mark you is quite distracted.
Yeah, so of course it matters depends what kind of color feather you get. So some bounders more specialize in kind of woodland and exploring woodland territory. So they get a green feather, and then there's them what are better at kind of working with communities and. But did they just say the safe word? I think they did say ranger danger. Better go see. He's not listening. No, well.
So what are you doing? Sorry.
I'm going to try and sneak away.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Give me a stealth roll.
towards
So
Gudrun.
back to Gudrun and Gert.
Yeah,
What are you guys
yeah.
doing?
Gert's digging sausages out of this pack. He was going to use them as a distraction to get around
Yep.
the
okay.
ranger that was keeping us from the conversation.
And Gudrun tried to walk aside of Nathaniel to comfort him and to enlighten him, and also in the meanwhile to get some news about what he saw.
Yeah. Okay. So you, Gudrun, you start to walk down with Nathaniel, kind of like talking to him as he's kind of like going down. Gert, you've pulled out some sausages. The ranger's like kind of like slightly confused about what that's happening, but it sees the sausages at the risk of turning, the most elite fighting force in the history of Middle Earth into a pack of dogs. He's very, very interested in those sausages. And Tolman, what's your stealth?
Yeah, I've got a stealth of 3.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to give me a stealth roll? See if you can
Okey-doke.
just fade away.
Yeah. What we got? It's not fantastic.
Since Tolman is my focus, can I give him
Yeah.
an extra dice? Okay.
Yeah, given that you distract everybody
Oh,
with
yeah.
sausages.
If you spend
Yeah,
hope,
this
you give him 2 dice.
Oh,
This is your focus.
there you go. It's
Okay,
really
okay.
a sausage, but yeah.
So 2 sausages.
Okay.
2 sausages.
Oh, that's
yeah.
better. That's a lot better. Okay, so that's 9, 15, 16, 21. It's
Oh, yeah.
a
Okay.
great success.
Okay, how do you want to spend the 10 well?
Don't say grab a sausage.
I guess maybe to sort of signal to Gert that we can move into such a position so as to both not be under watch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can kind of help get out with that. So you kind of like you're like poof, you're gone. You can like say to get this way. The rangers. Oh, these are really nice. He kind of like hands it across to the other one, kind of thing. Gudrun's walking down the hill. Gert, you take opportunity to kind of like turn and head. Tolman has managed to engineer Bert to kind of like get a little bit betwixt you and the ranger, so you're able to kind of like duck down and kind of off you go. So let's do Gudrun then. So Nathaniel and Gudrun, make me an awareness roll as well, Gudrun.
Awareness.
Yeah, which I know is in your strongest suit.
Okay. Awareness. 1. 4. Oh. No.
Yeah. Okay. So
7.
So as you're walking down, you don't catch a glimpse of anything off in the fortified area as you're going to walk past the entranceway to it. Nathaniel stood on the other side of you. Nathaniel is clearly shaken and a little bit embarrassed about that as well. He went off into the south downs. Is what he says.
Who?
The dwarf, that dwarf from back in Bree.
What you're talking about? Why are you talking about dwarves now? Aren't they rangers or bounders? Rookie bounders? Whatever.
I don't know about rookie bounders. No. Oh, look. He kind of stops and pauses, and his hand kind of just goes to his bag a little bit, and then he thinks twice about it. No, the Graw, that dwarf, we found his body in just through there, or the rangers found his body just through there. But he went the other way.
Oh, that's dwarf.
Yeah. That one. I mean, he got what was coming to him, really. There were certain people who attracted some natural consequences for their actions in Bree, and this is one of them.
Well, not direct consequences. They just it could happen the same, even go in another direction. It's not our responsibility.
But yeah, look, I know, but why would he be back here? Why? Well, surely if he'd have been attacked, it'd have been attacked in the South Downs.
By the way, the responsibility is of those that killed him. Who killed him?
Wolves, probably.
Wolves?
Yeah.
Wolves?
What is Nathaniel's lying skills?
Almost
Riddle.
nil.
He's lying through his teeth. His riddle of 0 versus your insight of 2. He's withholding some information when he says wolves.
Well, are you trying to protect me from some danger, my gentle ranger?
He turns. That's what we do. That's what the rangers do. We protect.
Yes, but as you may know, I don't need really your protection, but maybe you need my help.
Look, Graw, he was killed, and it's been dismembered, and just something evil has been done with him. There's no need for you to kind of go and look any more than that. The bad things in this world, Gudrun, that you probably haven't seen before, and people like me, we have to get out there because we can handle the truth. I'm not sure you can handle the truth. Sorry, I just tried to get a few good men reference in.
I'm there.
I think Nathaniel would definitely be like on that chair making that speech. Just there's no need to. The Barrow Downs. They're just a bad place.
So you think someone made some very evil act here, but I look at the people in Bree. They really, I don't think they can do anything evil, really evil. And from what Buggins told us, in the Shire, neither. So, where the killer of this dwarf came from? It's not from this part, I think.
You're absolutely right, Gudrun. It's not Bree folk or Shire folk. My people have been fighting a war that's lasted thousands of years. It's a war against a force of destruction and hate. This is just one more small skirmish in it. Just don't. There's no need for you to go back in there.
But these are old stories now. These all the people that fought in these battles are dead, and maybe also forgotten, except from few remembering people like you. What is the link between these dwarf and these old stories?
Malice. Hate, that's the link, Gudrun. It's still out there. It's still part of this world. We haven't defeated it. It's just been quiet. I mean, that dragon, the one that the tales have all been told, the defeat, that's just representative of that force. I tell you, Gudrun, this is what me and my people do, without need for thanks or reward. This is the nobility of our
Maybe.
family. Matt doesn't like to emphasize this part of his character.
But maybe haven't you need a lucky arrow, a black feathered lucky arrow, to defeat your enemy,
A lucky...
like my people.
Oh, a lucky arrow.
Yeah.
I think it'd take more than a lucky arrow. It's going to take warriors of great strength and courage to fight them and best them. Warriors of stout heart, strong arms. But instead we're just placed to protect the little people, the hobbits. Nothing will amount for much there. They're not going to save the world, are they?
Hey, Gert, how many sausages did you give that ranger feller?
So, Tolman, Gert, you kind of like able to sneak away a little bit. You're kind of like edging yourselves around the ring of rocks.
All right. I'm sure that Tolman is actually driving the ingress there, so
Yeah. Okay. So,
kind of like follow.
what's the plan, Tolman?
He's inquisitive. He's also got fairy blood, so his mother tells him. So he wants to get to whatever it was they were looking at, whatever he was being steered away from. He's like a child in that respect.
Yeah. Okay. So
His FOMO's kicking in.
you scrabble around to the entrance where Esteldor, Nathaniel, and the captain went through, and you can see that it opens out into a slightly wider area, scrubland, few bushes, few trees growing out of the stones as they kind of rise up. There's a bit of a mound further up, higher up the barrow, the hill, and then Esteldor, the captain, two more of the rangers stood by a gentle rise. It kind of goes flat, then it rises up and it goes flat again. And there's a figure on the floor beside that. All of the rangers are talking to each other, and every so often their eyes drift across. Figures, humanoid, splayed out in a Vitruvian Man style, fashion. Patch of darkness, as in kind of like darker earth around where they were. Can't see many details from where you are at present, and you can see the same as you peek your head around the corner as well. Gert, and Tolman's head there, your head there, cartoon style.
Is this what they were talking about when they say these rangers protect the Shire? I ain't never heard of any of this stuff. But is this some kind of fight they had? What are these things? The bodies.
I don't know. I do know they protect. They also don't speak of what they do. They're not boastful. Almost to a fault, I would say. A little bit of warning every now and then wouldn't hurt.
Well, they should tell us what's going on.
Wind up 60 years from now not knowing what's going on.
There's a sense of seriousness. The conversation, as you're, I imagine, edging your way closer and closer, as quietly as you're able to. There's a low, almost whispered conversation, quite engrossing, about weighty matters, though you can't quite hear what's being said. Esteldor's got a slightly submissive position. He's waiting to be instructed by the more senior individual, and then you get close enough to see. You don't recognise the figure, Tolman, but you do, Gror. And can I have shadow tests from you both as well? Dread tests, so using Valor.
Which is
I'm
Valor.
certainly
Okay.
going to fail. That's against strength, yeah. So
Yeah.
I've just increased mine to 2.
Oh.
Do I want to spend a point of hope? I feel like it's
Wow.
worth.
Okay. I actually passed because I got a Gandalf.
Excellent.
Wow.
So you would take 2 points of shadow.
Ouch.
I spent 1 hope. Hang on. Oh no, it's greed. It's greed that hobbits get a favoured test on. And this is dread. And I failed.
You get 3 points of shadow. And it's not just the visceral nature of the body laid there lifeless in front of you. It's the erasing of Gror from the tapestry of the world. Whatever has happened here goes beyond death into something dark, grim, and absolute in its malice towards life and joy.
So let me get this right. So Gror is kind of like the centerpiece around which the Rangers are standing.
So they're to the side. So Gror is resting on this slight incline, and you can see his torso is there, and his limbs have been ripped, not cut neatly or what have you, but kind of as if they've been rendered in that way, and then placed back. And as you're getting a little bit closer to it, the morbid fascination, and you can see that his eyes have been ripped out, and the optic nerve, it's just still dangling, but they've been turned around and placed back into the sockets there. You can't see the mark
No.
upon his body or anything along those.
And there are other bodies
There were
further
no
away.
other bodies.
No other bodies.
Just
Okay,
that
so
one that you can see.
okay. All right. So I think at this point, following that kind of grim scene, that realization, Tolman's never seen anything like that. He's almost forgets Gert's there now, and he just stands up straight, eyes wide, just agog at the whole thing, just walks straight up to the Rangers. And he'll say, no, this ain't never happened in the Shire before, nor on the doorstep of the Shire. This ain't, you fellas ain't bounders, nor sheriffs, nor anything like that. I don't know what did this. I'm pretty sure it weren't you folk. And if what they say is true, that Rangers are here to protect, then probably you're gonna help this. Whatever happened to him, you're gonna find them and stop it from coming into the Shire.
Hadron's face drops. It's like Gandalf when Frodo volunteers to take the ring. I'm sorry that you had to see this little one. But you're right. We'll not let it get into the Shire. Whatever did this. And he kind of comes and tries to puts his arm around you. And you too, man of Bree, let's just walk our way back, away from this. We do not need it to be haunting your night as well as being here today.
Is the remnants of the map with Gror, or did a ranger take that?
Ranger took it. Make a what would it be? Probably a scan roll.
Nah. 9.
Oh, you
9
don't-
and 9.
Yep, you don't see anything or find anything. The captain's kind of got Tolman is bringing him along gently, but still assertively.
I think Gert's just kind of staring, and he's not even hearing that he's been addressed. He recognized that this dwarf was likely a murderer and a bad person, but the thought creeps in that maybe he's a bad person because he this was all part of the plan to send him down to a dangerous area, and it's kind of like he wanted him gone from Bree, but he didn't want to see how the sausage gets made.
Yeah.
Now he has. So he just kind of absentmindedly steps away from it and tries to seek comfort with a group of people.
I think Hadron says, I think the best thing, Esteldor, is to move your group on in their journey to Bree. We'll deal with this, and we'll work through what this may mean for this area.
Very well.
Keep your eyes and ears open in the Shire, though.
Yes, I will.
And if there is anything that you think is worthy for us to know, or if you wish to pick up information, make your way to the refuge at Girdley Island. It lies in the Isle 10 miles upriver from the Brandywine Bridge.
Okay.
The usual passwords and
Understood.
entry codes.
Password 1.
2, 3, capital P. The A is a 4.
You guys been hacking my account?
Yes. Tolman at inquisitive.net. Yeah.
I'll just
Could we do a pose?
say goodbye from to the captain, and I'll join the others.
Yeah. Sorry, Gudrun.
Oh, yeah.
Could we do a pose? 5 minutes.
Oh, a pause.
Oh,
Yeah,
pause,
yeah. Okay, so we'll take a break there then. Do you want to take 5 minutes break back at 25 past? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.